The English Civil War, England, 1642. A once peaceful kingdom stood on the brink of war, not against a foreign invader but against itself. Kings versus Parliament, church versus people, brother versus brother. In this video, we dive into the war that tore a nation apart. The English Civil War, 1642 to 1651. The road to war, the seeds of war were planted long before the first sword was drawn. At the heart was one question: who ruled England, the king or the Parliament? King Charles I believed in the divine right of kings, that God chose him to rule, answerable to no one. But Parliament believed the king should govern with the people's voice not above it. Charles ruled without Parliament for 11 years. He raised illegal taxes, imposed religious changes, and married a French Catholic queen, raising deep suspicion. Tensions erupted in 1642, when Charles entered the House of Commons, with soldiers trying to arrest 5 MPs. He failed, and the people turned against him. On August 22, 1642, Charles raised his royal standard in Nottingham. Civil war had begun. The war begins. The war split the country. On one side, the Royalists, also called Cavaliers, wealthy nobles, and Loyalists who supported the king. On the other, the Parliamentarians, known as Roundheads, made up of Puritans, merchants, and ordinary citizens. The first battle at Edgehill in 1642 was bloody but indecisive. Over the next years, the war dragged across the countryside. Cities were besieged, families divided, churches looted. In 1644, Parliament gained a powerful ally, the Scots, in exchange for a promise to make England more Protestant. Then came a turning point: the creation of the new model army, a disciplined and religious force led by Oliver Cromwell. Crushing the King Battle of Naseby, 1645. Cromwell's army crushed the king's forces. Charles fled, but there was nowhere left to run. In 1646, he surrendered to the Scots. But peace didn't last. Charles secretly negotiated with Scottish Royalists to start another war. Parliament felt betrayed. In 1648, the Second Civil War broke out, but it was quickly put down. For the first time in English history, a reigning king was put on trial by his own people. The king's death, Charles I, stood trial for treason. The verdict: guilty. On January 30th, 1649, King Charles I was executed in front of the banqueting house in London. The monarchy was abolished. England was now a republic. No king, no crown, just the people. The Third Civil War. But the story didn't end there. Charles's son, Charles II, declared himself king. He gained support in Scotland and tried to reclaim the throne. Cromwell crushed resistance in Ireland in brutal campaigns like the massacre at In 1651, Charles II led an army into England. Cromwell met him at the Battle of Worcester and ended the war with a decisive victory. Charles fled to France. The monarchy was truly gone, for now. The Republic in Cromwell's rule, England became the Commonwealth, a republic ruled by Parliament, and eventually by Cromwell himself. In 1653, Cromwell became Lord Protector, essentially a military dictator. His rule was strict and religious. No dancing, no theater, even Christmas was banned. After Cromwell's death in 1658, his son failed to keep control. People had had enough of war, bans, and military rule. The monarchy returns in 1660. Parliament invited Charles II to return. He was crowned king and the monarchy was restored. But everything had changed. No king would ever again rule without Parliament. The English Civil War was more than a conflict, it was a revolution. A king was executed. A republic was tried. Power shifted forever, from crown to people. And from its ashes rose the idea that no ruler is above the law. This was the war that changed Britain and echoed through every democracy that followed.